All right. Are we live? Yep, there it goes. Good. Evening, everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful and blessed May 1st, aka Beltane, for those who celebrate it. Canary, I had to look up the UWU thing because I didn't know what that was. I thought it was an abbreviation. I realized it's supposed to be a cute face. So I learned something today. Hey, Lightbringer, good to see you back. Hey, Ms. Weeks Tarot, good to see you. And there's Peachy. Jacob, welcome back. Halloween. Wow, you guys are in here quick tonight. Doing pretty good overall. Been a bit of a rough week. As many of you know who follow the live stream, I've been doing some shadow work myself this week. It's been a little bit crazy, and which I'll get into a bit later, but my weekly challenge went pear-shaped and sideways on me. But that was also kind of fun, learning experience for myself. But as you all probably saw in the thumbnail, one thing I want to talk about this week real quick before we do get into the other stuff is online occult safety, because hey, Demon Wolf, good to see you. I come from a generation where no one trusted the internet originally. I mean, and I can't recall how many times people just browbeat us about internet safety. And I would literally roll my eyes at those people. But this year, and especially in the last 2 months, I have been getting emails about what people can do to stop being harassed online in occult forums. Now, most of you probably know I'm actually not very active in many occult forums. There's a couple Facebook groups that I'm in that I have friends in, so they invited me over there. And I have our Discord server for Working Dragon Mystic. And I have, of course, the Working Dragon Mystic Facebook group. Otherwise, I don't really hang out in forums a lot. I'm a little too busy, actually. But these emails have been concerning because this isn't a new problem. It's something it's definitely been there for a long time. And for whatever reason, it's like the occult community does not want to address it or talk about it. And essentially what it is these people are going in and trolling for people who they're new to the practice, they don't know anything, and they're looking for anyone to teach them. And with a lot of the closed doors, secrecy, and gatekeeping, they will jump at any chance to learn. And these people are using it to, well, let's be honest, they're not good people, and they're trying to get into someone's head and manipulate them. And I know people personally who have been very hurt by these practices. So I want to cover some general basics real quick, what we can do. I mean, obviously, the first thing, and I know this is going to sound dorky, everybody's going to laugh at me, but make sure you have up-to-date firewall and virus software on whatever device you're using. I mean, even before you get to the occult side, check off the standard internet safety boxes. And that's stuff like, don't give them your name, your address, your phone number. You don't know who these people are. You may have to remind me which conversation, Lightbringer. But yeah, it sadly is. It's more common than I would like it to be. Definitely. But yeah, that's not to say you should go in and not talk to anybody. Just keep your private information private, first and foremost, when you are talking to people. Secondly, if someone tries to move the conversation only to direct messaging and they're telling you rituals to do or try, and they're offering to teach you, but they don't want to discuss it in the public forum, that should be a cautionary flag at the minimum. At the very, very minimum. Yeah, that's a good one. Cast Iron, good to see you again. Don't mention your employer, your school, any of that stuff. No personal information at all. And now, when we are talking, when someone's offering to teach you, this is usually the biggest ploy. So always ask them if you can share the information with your friends and family. 9 times out of 10, that'll pretty much shut them down quickly. Oh, okay. Now I got to narrow it down. That sounds like about 3 conversations I had this week. No, Cast Iron, you got good points. You really do. I try to turn location off in most cases on most of my stuff. And many of you will notice that I don't respond to Facebook. And that's really why. It's my Facebook page is a private page. It's not really work. I try not to use it for work. And honestly, now that the Discord's up and running, I am going to kind of channel people over there if they want to talk to me directly, or here to these live chats, obviously. But just show some caution. Also, if they're talking about things in the categories of consuming astral bodies, binding, linking, or tying yourself to them, mixing bodily fluids of any kind. I've even heard reports of them telling you to consume entities. These type of things should be major red flags for y'all. And if those pop up, my general rule is turn and go the other way. And never blindly do a series of workings. Always ask, if you are considering working with someone, for what, first off, don't work with someone until you have a good foundation of knowledge about them. I would talk to somebody for a month before I worked with them, minimum. But before you start the working, make sure they lay out the entire working, its purpose, every step of the way at once, so you can read over it before you agree to it. And if they're not willing to do that, walk away. Walk away. Yeah, Lightbringer, you're right. And a lot of these people are using the rituals to get into the heads of these newer practitioners. And that's one of the reasons why this is such a big deal. I know normally I try to come on here, have fun. We we laugh, we talk about what's been going on. Occasionally we end up a lot of the time we end up making fun of me. But I don't know, maybe it's just because now that I'm more public in YouTube, I'm hearing more reports of this kind of stuff. But I wanted to definitely cover this and have a video on my channel where people can, get an idea of it and know it's there. Because I do think a lot of people come to the occult community thinking, since most people approach magic in some form of betterment or enlightenment, or at least that's the public opinion, that we're all just groovy people and there's no scoundrels amongst us. Which I guess that, says something yay for our community as a whole. We're viewed that way. But that view also makes it really easy for the scoundrels to hide. And yes, you'll notice I'm picking my words carefully, because we did get monetized. And also, I don't want this video flagged. I want this video to get out to as many people as possible. Yeah, and they do. Thank you, Cast Iron. I appreciate it. It's I still can't believe it, really. It's that thing where it's like I still expect to wake up from it. Lightbringer, you're absolutely correct. At least in one Discord server I'm in that's not working Dragon Mystic, we've had a rash of these pop up, and the admin and myself have tried to do what we can. And actually, they were the ones that helped inspire this video. And I'm hoping, one of the admin mentioned pinning this video into that server so that when you go in, they're going to mention the video as kind of a check this out for server safety kind of things, which I hope they do, and I'm honored that they're considering that. But I mean, it's a pretty simple topic. It's not going to take us our full hour, obviously, but avoid anything that would bind you to another person. Like I said, the bodily fluids, consuming energy, especially their energy, and those things. And if you're ever uncomfortable or uneasy, ask a friend. Phone a friend. I don't know what the game show is now, but you know what I'm talking about. Because if you're uncomfortable about what they're saying and why they're saying it, there's plenty of people that you can reach out to and ask to get a viewpoint. And if you're watching this, go to the Working Dragon Mystic Discord and direct message me. I'll be willing to answer any questions. And let's be fair. Some people may say something that sounds weird, awkward, or let's be honest, it could be full on wrong. They could be a newer practitioner as well. So it doesn't make them a bad person, but you still want to exercise caution. Does that make sense? Oh, Peachy, thank you. Just addressing some of the safety concerns that's popped up in certain occult forums, Black Tower, and how people are trolling them looking for people, to manipulate. I'm not sure if you are Lightbringer, but I don't want to mention it. It's just I'm not calling out any servers or anything on here. Yeah, cast iron, you sound like me because I mean, I remember when internet wasn't a thing and it popped up. Well, I think a few people might have shared it around in multiple Discord servers, so I'm not 100% sure. Lightbringer. But if I'm in the server, it'll be as Working Dragon Mystic, aka Drake. I'm not a creative person. My names usually end up being the same everywhere. No, and Peachy's right. It doesn't have to be just a server. I mean, these people will pop up in Tumblr, Facebook. Are chat rooms even a thing anymore? I don't think I've ever seen a chat room in years, although that's where I first started. But if those are still a thing, I'm sure they're still popping up there too. So anywhere that someone can message you online, this is actually genuinely still a problem. And now I feel like the dork I used to roll my eyes at when I was 16. And I want to kind of go back and find Officer Dan and apologize to him for rolling my eyes at him. But I can't. So, Officer Dan, if you're watching this, I apologize. I'm sorry. Black Tower, I'm sorry that it's an issue too. I just want to make sure people are safe because I started this channel to help seekers get onto the path and find the knowledge they want to, find the path they want to walk. And if I'm going to do that, even though this isn't a fun topic, I think it needs to be addressed because it's the seekers who are generally the most vulnerable. Though I do know a few longtime practitioner who's tripped and fell into it. But just follow those simple, those practices that we went over and reach out, talk to somebody if something throws up a caution flag. Don't wait for a red flag. Talk to someone if you even get a weird vibe caution flag, and you should be okay. I'll be honest, I haven't hung out in a chat room in so long. See, I didn't even know they were still a thing. So, okay, they still are a thing. So, if you have any questions, do let me know before we move on. What would be a suggestion for people that have already? Okay, great question, Halloween. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is why I ask you all for questions. Now, if this has happened to you, first off, you want to try and block the person and make sure that they do not contact you again. You want to put as much distance between you and them as you can. I know people can always just create new accounts and pop back in, but it won't take you long to figure out it's the same creep, then block them again. Now, in the case of magic, this does get a little bit more wonky because, for example, if you have already worked with their energy, and I keep using the consume energy thing because this is actually a report I've gotten 3 times this year. And it makes me wonder if it's the same guy, but I can't prove or disprove that. Do a full-blown cleansing ritual to reset and balance your energy. And a great one for that on the channel is the ritual, the Dragon's Ritual of the Flame. You don't have to practice dragon magic to use that ritual. Anyone can use it. And if you do that ritual and you pull that energy straight into you and completely fill you with the energy and focus it on balancing, purifying, and cleansing your energy of any and all outside negative sources, it will burn away all negative sources and it will remove any sources that aren't necessarily you, but may not be negative. Let's say it's something. Well, we mentioned the entity consuming thing. If the entity isn't negative, but it still needs removed, the ritual will still remove it harmlessly. So that would be a great ritual to do if you do not have a cleansing and balancing ritual of your own. Usually one time doing that will do it. It'll also burn away any cords that the person may have attached. So it will pretty much set you free, good to go. Now, for this is me, I would actually tell most of the people I work with to do that every day for a week, not because it's going to take a week to fix the issue, but the week-long continued balance and cleansing really does help heal you mentally and emotionally from the experience and help bring a kind of a sort of peace about it, if that makes sense. Now, I am happy to say that we are blessed so far in the Working Dragon Mystic group. So far, this hasn't happened, and I'm hoping it doesn't. But if it does, everyone feel free to reach out to me immediately. Yeah, Black Tower, I'm actually pretty surprised. My YouTube channel itself has been pretty chill. I've been really blessed. Most of the comments have all been very productive. I did actually get my first You're Going to Hell post today. But yeah, okay. But yeah, I've been pretty blessed on the YouTube channel. It's more the and I think that's because YouTube doesn't have a way for them to pull people off to the side and privatize it. So I think that's the major reason. Thank you, Cast Iron, again. You know, when the trolls are popping up, you're doing something right. Which I'm glad I have the Discord, because YouTube, the bigger I get, it seems to inform me less and less of messages. Lightbringer, thank you. Y'all know I'm Southern. I can't hide it. It's in my accent. Even if I didn't, I'll tell y'all. You could just watch one video and be like, I know where he's from. And I was just raised, you try to behave in a manner that everyone's going to be comfortable in. And when I teach and when I present information, I try to keep it respectable and clean as I can for everybody. So I am glad that you all are finding that and enjoying that and taking notice. It's good to know. Because I will admit, there are people who told me I should go darker, use more cussing, and showcase alcohol, and I guess go all edgelordy. It's just not me. Black Tower, you know what? Up until you mentioned trolls on the internet, I was about to say yes. I don't know. I've never considered a continually fire ritual like that to try and keep trolls away. That's an interesting thought. I'm going to look into that, man. I will look into that, and I'll message you when I have some answers. That is a freaking good idea. I love it. No, I don't need edgy. I don't need edgy. I go for authentic. This is me. Take me as I am. Appreciate that, Lightbringer. I actually do try to be the kind of guy that you can go have a drink with and chat. Though I do actually have some neat little internet magic tips I'm wanting to share tonight. On your channel. How can I vet what I take? Open ocean. That's a loaded question. See, safety, as far as when you're solo practicing, safety is kind of, in a lot of people view it as a personal thing. So you kind of have to approach everything and move into it slowly, test it, even do some research on it if you can. And try to ask questions if you can. That's one reason I try to answer as many questions as I do on the YouTube channel. I usually take an hour or two a day just to go through the channel and try to respond. But you will also notice that I have not posted any direct information on stuff like Maelstrom Dragons or Chaos Dragons on my channel. And that's because if you are a beginner, though I can't think of a video or a way to post that I can be like, yeah, this is a safe way to approach them. So I have kept it to the first 4 elements because of that. So I do try to keep the information safe. I know not every YouTuber might do that. And books. My rule of thumb with a book is read through the book entirely before you ever do any rituals. If you read through it entirely, you can get a feel for exactly where it's going and what the processes are doing. And some authors will just out of the gate tell it's really good for that. In her Grimoire of Tiamat, I think first page is like nothing but a giant warning. You know what? I am going to actually meditate on that open ocean, and I may actually do a whole video on that to try, because that's a hard one. That's a good question and a hard one at the same time. But for now, take some of those tips and just wade in cautiously and slowly. Take your time and understand what you're doing and why you're doing it before you do it. Well, you are right there. The individuals aren't usually a problem. That's hard. If you're in a large group like a Discord, make sure the moderators and the admin know. And as easy as it is to just create new accounts, that really gets difficult. So all I can say is every time you find them, block them again and report them to the admin in like a Discord channel. On Facebook, just keep blocking them. If it's your own private account, just keep hitting that block button. They usually take the hint quickly. Now, because they actually have to do something, I think, before you can report them like legally. But you can also report them to, like on Facebook, you can actually report the person for harassment. That might be a thing you can do on Discord. I don't know. I'm new to Discord. Tumblr, same thing, report for harassment. And if it's a continual problem, even take screenshots of this stuff and submit that with your harassment complaint so you have proof that they're creating multiple accounts to continue to harass you. I know, Black Tower. We hardly ever see you up in here. Honestly, Peachy, that's pretty much my rule of thumb. When in doubt, Dragonfire. Lightbringer, yeah, the Working Dragon Mystic Discord. All of my students that actually take the Dragon Magic 101 class, most of them are currently on there. They do have access to it, obviously. And yeah, there's plenty of people in there who do practice dragon magic right now that you can talk to and share experiences. That's one of the biggest topics I think that's discussed. Peachy is one of the ones that is always discussing dragon magic and her experiences. That is probably the best place right now. And I am hoping the community grows larger. And I am trying to get some of my older students to also join the Discord so that you can have them in there to share experiences with as well and get different points of view and experiences other than just me. But yeah, right now, the Working Dragon Mystic Discord, even though we cover all magic, dragon magic is definitely a large topic in there. And there's plenty of people that you can share your experiences with. And everyone in there has been really nice. So yeah, let's see. That's a good tip there, Cast Iron. Yeah. Facebook, you can run their privacy thing. And honestly, Discord is getting to be the easiest way to get a hold of me. It really is. Because Facebook has been acting weirder and weirder. The business page has all but quit working. And I don't think the private group page has a way to message the admin or not. I don't know. So yeah, the Discord page is getting to be the easiest way to get in touch with me. So, but some of the magical tips that can help. One thing I like to do, because believe it or not, I get this question: how do I actually have my face on some of my public websites when I practice magic? Because that means they can get a picture of me. Oh Lord. Every one of those pictures can't be used for magic, because what I do is I actually put a sigil on the back of all the pictures that I use in my media to literally kill and separate the connection between me and the picture. And you can design the sigil yourself. Just go to the basic sigil magic video. It'll show you how to make a sigil. And since it's on the back, it doesn't affect the photo at all in any way. And those are the photos I use to make sure my picture can't be utilized for magical purposes. And if it's a digital photo and you don't have a hard copy, there's a website called canva.com. You can actually utilize that to create the photo itself. What I do is I'll take the sigil and place on one layer, and then I'll actually put the photo directly over it and then download that to the computer. And it's totally free. Black Tower befriending them is they're okay with just that. You don't have to work with them. They're okay with just the friendship. Oh, that's a good tip. Thanks, Cast Iron. See, I'm glad you're here because I'm not real tech savvy. So, yeah, it's actually good to know there's stuff. I may actually pop over and try that one out myself. Yeah, I usually try to clean my system and my computer quite regularly. So, but yeah. So, any other questions about occult forum safety before we move on? Get to happier topics. Nope. Okay. Well, if you come up with one, just let me know. Like I said, needed topic, but not one I necessarily wanted to cover because I like happier topics. I like funner topics. Yeah, and when in doubt, exercise caution. That's really the easiest way. And don't give any real world information out to anyone that you do not know very well. I've got one person I've talked to online now for about 2 years. They still don't know anything about me. When in doubt, be Ron Swanson. Uh, for protection style pendants in real life, I love obsidian and onyx. Those are my go tos. Um, Otherwise, I tend to just enchant everyday items. For those who have seen my leather coat, that thing, it draws a lot of attention in the occult community when I'm around people who can see sigils and energy because there's like, I want to say over 1,000 different protective sigils laid into that coat. I forget exact. I got it wrote down in one of my books because I use the same protection sigils every time I get a new coat. Um, but yeah, for just a general pendant, unless you're enchanting it yourself, my favorite go-tos are always onyx and obsidian. Um, but now, if you're looking for more energetic protection and cleansing, oh, I love hematite. I really do. But I will say this for my students, I always recommend a solid grounding and shielding practice. This is a personal philosophy for me, but I think you should rely more on your personal shields than on items. And the item should be the backup because if your shield takes too much, of course, it's going to drop and you may not have time to put it back up. That's when the item comes in as the backup. That's my personal philosophy. Maybe I sound overly paranoid. I don't know. But that's my personal philosophy. As to internet on person, again, I don't know. I know a few techno witches. I might have to ask about that because when it comes to technology and magic, I don't play around with it. I have fried way too many computers and electronic devices energetically that I really do not try to do magic around my technology. But that's a very good question, and that's actually something that should be looked into because more and more occult stuff is going online. So Yeah. You're giving me all kinds of stuff to look into this week. I'm loving this. Lightbringer, you could, um, but I don't know because pendulums can be emotionally affected. So, but they could also help kind of give you a ballpark. And I mean, honestly, once the person starts talking direct rituals, then you can kind of start getting a feel for what they're up to, and that's usually your biggest red flag. Your cat don't like something it sees. Catherine Rose, welcome. Blessed Beltane to you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, that's why you're right. It can be, it can help you in your decision. I don't like fully relying on them. So yeah, you're thinking the right direction there. I agree with you. Ooh, Halloween, that's a good one. How can you tell the difference between general anxiety and intuition? That really comes down to knowing yourself. If anxiety is a big issue, you do kind of have to, it takes time and practice. But other than time and practice, sit down, meditate, ground yourself, get into that calm spot where the anxiety falls away, and then meditate on the situation and see if the unease and intuition that there's something off about the person comes in. Um, that's the way I generally do it. And that's the way that's the way I teach all my students with anxiety to do it. And I do know anxiety is not an easy thing to meditate out of, but those are really the two options that I'm most familiar with is either time and practice to know the difference or meditating and clearing out emotionally and taking time to consider it. Awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying the channel, Catherine. And the rituals sound absolutely, this is a great time to do them, actually. The equinox and solstices are really the 4 times of the year the dragons enjoy. Probably the closest thing that you could call to a dragon holiday. So, yeah, this is a great time to do some of those rituals. Awesome to hear. Yes, actually, I have used coffee for protection and banishing and getting rid of general negative people. Um, and I can think of one scenario where I did it and it did seem to affect online people that were being annoying as well, which is kind of pretty cool. Yep, and while purchase. That's correct. I know I probably mispronounced that and I apologize. Yeah, that's true. Entities that you're working with usually, especially if you have an open communication with them, they can usually help tip you off very quickly. Oh yeah, Jamie, thank you. That is correct. Yeah, Peachy. Some I think Conway's work actually has dragon initiations. Which there's nothing wrong with them. It's basically most of them are just a commitment, a promise between you and the dragons that you're going to do the work. Um, so even though, like, take the class for example, the way it's laid out with the you start with the dragon's fire ritual, the meditation, and then we move to the guardian dragon. Well, part of that questioning series that the guardian dragon, that Q&A that they're doing, could be viewed as an initiation because they're basically asking you, are you actually going to commit to this? Are you going to do it? But it's not. So that would be a form of initiation, though it's not as formal as some of the others that people enjoy. I mean, I don't know the one that Catherine's planning to do, but some people do enjoy doing an initiation. And well, from a personal perspective, they also help kind of self-commit yourself to do the work, which is nice. So me and dragons. Let's see. Oh crap. I don't even know. I have to shift my brain from serious to funny. Oh, cool. So you've okay, Catherine, you built an initiation on my videos. How freaking cool. That is awesome. So are you huh? That is awesome to hear. Look at this. She done went and stopped me with my own work. Look at that. That is cool to hear, Catherine. I'm actually glad you're finding the channel useful. That is always glad to hear. Yeah, you had a choice. They're not going to twist your arm. You can decide, nope, I'm not going to do it. Oh, that's a see, there you go. You're following the setup without me even see. Yeah, that's a perfect setup. And tonight is a wonderful night to do that, Catherine. Great pick. Great pick for the night to do it. And you're welcome. I plan to have more videos coming out on Dragon Magic. I'm trying to weave in a few more topics though. Well, Lightbringer, you're welcome. I'm glad so many people have found it. Um, I still find it weird how long it took me to do a video on Dragon Magic, considering how big a part of my practice it is. But seeing as how many people are wanting that information, I'm glad I did launch it and get the channel up and running. So, yeah, you can bet there's going to be more coming. I'm actually planning to try and get some more actual Dragon Magic rituals up. And we do have more of the Dragon Magic courses that are planned too. So, yeah. So, okay, story time. Things with dragons. All right, so outside of ritual, wait, how many times did I have the little dragon meeting in your house? Honestly, those little dragons pop up in my house a lot. Um, at any given time, the guardians are here. My co-magician is here, and there's three smaller dragons. One of them actually serves a purpose. He actually helps me with locating things. He's a little Oriental dragon. Always makes me look. I wanted to call him Mushu. That's what he looks like, but he won't let me call him that. Picky little bugger. And then there's two little cat-sized European-style dragons. So far, they don't appear to actually do anything except just hang around. But they've always been pleasant little guys to have around the house. And as far as dragons popping in to meet me, that actually happens quite regularly and sometimes even disturbingly. Perfect example. 2 nights ago, I woke up with the ruler of fire, like right here, just staring at me. And so I got to wake up with that feeling that someone was in the room looking at me. And when I opened my eyes, I could see him clear as day. I mean, but he was so close you couldn't make out any details. So yeah, hell yeah, I screamed. I didn't know who was in my bedroom. Cast iron, I never have bound a dragon. And I actually not sure the novel you're talking about. Binding dragons usually does not go well. Actually, it never goes well. Because if you bind them against their will, that raises so many problems for you. That and they have a tendency to be able to ignore magics, so they can get out of things pretty easily. That said, I do have certain items that are linked, and the dragons can jump into them as need be if they want, but nothing that I would count as bound. And any bond we share is a bond of friendship. So that's an interesting thought, because I've never used an electronic device as a link item for something to jump into. And that's because obviously when the entity moves into it, there's going to be that energetic surge. And that's usually what screws up electronics. So would that mess up your electronic, or would that actually end up protecting the electronic? Now, cast iron, that's an interesting. If you tinker with that, let me know about it. Because yeah, so you're talking about more of like a linking object than a housing thing. So yeah. You know what? I have an old laptop that works but isn't useful. I may tinker with that, man. That is an interesting idea. Lightbringer, the ruler of fire, rarely. I mean, okay, he can be serious, but honestly, he picks on me and jokes around more than anything. He meant to scare me. He's a great guy. Yeah, I'd agree with you, Catherine, and that's why I don't do binding. I only do the linking. It's this is a space that's set aside for you in this physical object, and there's multiple of them around the house, so that basically there's a physical vessel thingy for them to utilize and move around the house if they so choose. So yeah, I'm gonna have to play with that. Well, I know I've actually worked with a lot of demons that honestly they're really great to chat with, and they're good at cheering you up. But no, your computer trick, I'm going to have to try that and see how that does. And if you do it, message me and let me know your results too, so we can compare notes on that. So, I mean, well, I don't feel I have to protect a dragon. I really don't. So I'm sure, you know, anyone tried anything screwy, I'm not too worried about that. And I think you're on the right road. I think we're of the same mind on how to do it. So yeah, completely innocent. No worries. But yeah, that was one of the more recent ones. Though I have also actually had my guardian dragons actually not visibly seeable, but at the same time, they would literally keep someone from getting too close to me. And this was like when I first started practicing. I was working at a bakery deli area in I think it was Kroger's, and they literally would not let this one woman get near me. I still don't know what they had against her, but yeah, they would literally kind of just shove her back. And she was sensitive enough that she was fully aware of what was doing it. So yeah, she got to the point she wouldn't get near me. That's one instance I've had with them. But did something not pop up, Black Because your statement feels like it's a second part of something. So um, I'm of two minds on that particular topic. I really am. But at the same time, I'm kind of in the ballpark of anything's possible. Catherine, if you're still here, let me know how your initiation goes. Shoot me a message in Discord or something. Okay, that explains it. It's like that look because I even went back because I got two screens here. I got the public feed and my feed, and it's not popping up in either. That is so weird. Welcome, Origin of Insanity. Yeah, sadly, dragon hunting was a thing. See, you'd think it'd be easier for me to remember different events of working with dragons. Man. Oh yeah, that's pretty normal, Jacob. Sometimes that may be the easiest way to get some people's attention. Sometimes that's just the route they choose. Okay, we're at the hour mark. We actually are probably going to have to wrap it up a little bit. So let's see if we can take any last questions here real fast before we close. So, well, first off, anyone have any final questions on that main topic of internet safety in the occult? And Jamie, I do not know why I'm drawing an absolute blank on dragon stories tonight. I think our starter topic kind of just messed with me. That sounds like a really good sign there, Catherine. That is awesome. And yeah, I look forward to hearing about it. I really do. Open ocean, lucid dreaming, not really. DreamWorks never been an area I've enjoyed because it's so random, unpredictable, and even if you're in charge of the dream, there's too many factors that may be more symbolic as opposed to direct. And for me personally, that's just always been an area. I'm more of a direct person. So I've never been really big on lucid dreaming and dream work. So I don't really have a lot of tips there. Now with astral travel, I do actually have a video on an easy introduction to astral travel on the channel that goes into full detail on the beginner's tip to start learning astral travel. And I am hoping to do a full course on astral travel and soul travel in the future as well. But that video that's on the channel should get you started with astral travel at the very least. With lucid dreaming, the only advice I can really give is keep trying it over and over and make sure you have your focus on taking control of your dreams as you go to sleep. But I'm not really the best person when it comes to dream work. It's good to see you, Black Tower. And, well, thank you. I'm honored to be able to do this work. Profile protection, Halloween, that comes down to make sure your profile doesn't contain personal information or any of that that can be utilized against you in any way. And the backgrounds of your pictures if you use your real picture. Most of the time I recommend not using a real picture. But if you use your real picture, make sure there's nothing in the background that can identify your location. The only exception to that is if you take a trip to the Grand Canyon, but you live in New York City, then the background actually serves your favor because if somebody tries to use it to track you, they're going the wrong way. Those are the biggest tips for profile protection. That and make sure your firewall and virus protection's up to date. Jacob, yeah, unless her boss drops her another emergency message, she will be here Sunday. She's actually already been contacting me uber hyper about the magical coffee hour on Sunday. So yeah, she's sorry she missed last Sunday, but she is going to be there this Sunday, which is good because I don't do good solos for magical coffee hour. Yeah, Catherine Rose, you pretty much nailed it. Keep all that private information and stuff. And like I said, use the sigil trick I've talked about to protect your pictures, and or just don't use your private pictures. And you should be good. All my pictures that I post that actually have this ugly, lovely mug, I use the sigil trick to protect them so they can't be used against me. Yeah, social media has really spun witch magic in a whole new way. Ah, is that Scenari, or Canary? Scenari, thank you. I'm sorry about the name butchering. I'm bad with names. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the channel. And yeah, it's here for the seekers. And, you know, this is a perfect place to get started, considering the new people to the practice are usually those who people try to go after. Lightbringer, we're here every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there's another stream, the Magical Coffee Hour, that streams Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I have a co-host who tends to ask me questions, try to stump me, and throw me under the bus. That one's a lot of fun. That one's more laid back and goofy, but it's a lot of fun. Sunshine, actually it is. We're getting ready to wrap up. But the replay will be available. So you should be able to, as soon as we wrap up, the replay is available. That's one of the things I love about these live streams is it allows you to go back and rewatch the episodes. Sounds good, Jacob. Terrafauna is a wonderful dragon to work with. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that one, Lightbringer. I wish I could be in more time zones at once, but so far I haven't got that spell to work yet. So, yeah, we'll have to work on that. Self-mastery. The best to start with working with self-mastery, Sunshine, is the first 4 rulers, and work with them in turn. And I would usually recommend going earth, air, fire, and water in that order. And actually let them know what you're wanting to work on, because each of them can help work on the larger parts of the human self and help you to balance out those ideals and gain that mastery of self. I do know one dragon who specializes in it, but I don't know if I'm allowed to share the name or sigils just yet. So I don't want to be like, yes, this one. But I do know the 4 rulers. They are great for self-mastery, and you can learn so much from them. So if you are, which self-mastery is, let's be honest, it's really the best goal a magician can have. Yeah, I would start with them, definitely. No problem. Happy to help. Great question, by the way. Oh, yes. I'm willing to share, Catherine. I'm actually I do shadow work twice a year, and this is one of the times of the year when I do it. So my main bulk ritual, the biggest ritual I do, because I do it over several days, is going to be tonight. Um, I also will be doing some spell work, and once that's done, I will be spending the rest of the night, or at least a few hours, in divinations doing scrying work, and using the scrying work to help plan out and prepare for things in the future, so that I can then use spell work to map out the future as I want it to benefit me and my family. After that, probably going to be a bottle of mead and a cigar. So, yeah, that's kind of my plan for celebrating. If the wife was home, we'd be doing a big bunch of food. Uh, I mean, I don't really have time to go too deep in it. I mean, I'm pretty knowledgeable of it. You have to be working with dragon magic, because Cora Allegra, the water ruler, you can't work with her and not deal with emotions. That's her whole shebang. So, uh, we don't have one for next week, Peachy, because honestly, the subject that started this video really kind of derailed most of my normal trains of thought. Sorry, completely unprepared. That and my personal life has had several things pop up that had to be dealt with. The joys of being a full-time mage. So, all right, people, it has been wonderful seeing you all. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your questions. And to those who are celebrating later tonight, definitely enjoy your celebrations. Catherine, not to single you out, but good luck with your initiation work. Join us back here next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, we'll definitely have a happier topic for sure. Tuesday, our Norse series starts. The first in the Norse Magic series will be going live Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that. And of course, let us not forget, this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live. It'll be me and the Linda from Caffeine and Chaos on the Magical Coffee Hour. So if you haven't seen the Magical Coffee Hour, I hope you'll come joining us and have a few laughs with us. Good chance she'll try to embarrass me again, but that's okay. We all love Linda. And yeah, that pretty much about covers it. Also, for those who are interested in Dragon Magic, we do have a Dragon Magic 101 training course on the Working Dragon Mystic School. You can find it at workingdragonmystic.com. Just click the classes. Currently, there's a full meditation course, the Dragon Magic 101, and an Astral Sight class for those who are interested. The Astral Sight class is completely free, by the way. So if you're trying to develop your arcane senses, that class is completely free. All right. In the meantime, I got some ritual work to do. I got lots of scrying to do and a bottle of mead with my name on it. And I'm sure you all have stuff to do tonight, and I wish you all the best. And until next time, may your path be blessed, people. Take it easy.